we've got the primer on the perspex, and we've got the primer on the frame and then on the aluminium, and now we've got to put the Sikaflex itself on, which is over here. In order to do that properly, we actually have to put this large nozzle on. What we do is we then cut a slot like this using a knife. First of all, we cut it off quite large. You can see from the sizing and the position. Cut that off, and then we cut a triangular slot out of it like that. So you can see exactly what that looks like. The reason for that is that as we squeeze the Sikaflex out and move along like this, it leaves like a little pyramid of Sikaflex exactly the right height along. This stuff's very gooey, by the way. You can see there on my fingers. So what you want to do is you want to wear an apron, and you definitely want to have gloves on. The Sikaflex you put onto the frame. You don't put it onto the glass. You put it on the frame, all the way around on the frame and inside the aluminium on the sides, and then you take the glass and you put the glass in place. This is what it's going to look like. You can see the size of the bead. It's kind of a little high guy, and it works perfectly. Just one bead like that all the way along. Just as a demonstration, once I've squashed the bead together, you can see what happens. It spreads out perfectly. That's what it looks like. And you need a reasonably good layer, because you don't want the glass to be right on the perspex. The idea is to have some flexibility in the Sika, and that allows for expansion and contraction. Okay, what I've got here is I've got a couple of pieces of wire like this. Just two little pieces of wire, and then two kind of like mini screws. What we do is once you put the bead all the way around, you put this piece of wire on the front and that piece of wire on the top of the frame. These are two guides that are in place to get the glass in exactly back into place. So you have them sticking out through the Sika like that, through the Sikaflex, and you get them to go through the hole. So this is attached, this is stuck into the Sikaflex here, and as you're lowering the glass onto the frame, this little piece of wire goes through the hole that you've made on the front, and another one on the top, and that helps you get the glass perfectly in place straight away. Obviously, once you've got it in place, you can maneuver it a little bit. We then use a little, like tiny little screw like this, which we put through the glass to hold it in those two positions nice and firmly, and we press the glass down all the way around. All the way around, you press the glass down just by hand. You know, we kind of just made some homemade little screws like that. So this goes in from the outside, and that goes through there like that. You've now got the glass in place on the frame, on the instrument panel in the front, and inside the aluminium sides. You've got Sikaflex all the way around. On the aluminium pieces, the Sikaflex is on the outside. On the rest, on the front of the instrument panel and over the top of the frame, it's on the inside of the glass. Now what you do is you press the whole glass very gently all the way down until you can see that the Sikaflex is coming out slightly. Don't forget, you still have the masking tape in place, and you've got the edging tape all the way around. So if a bit of the Sikaflex squeezes out and goes onto the glass, it won't go onto the glass because it's going to go onto the masking tape, and then you just peel that off afterwards. You press it down firmly all the way down. You don't put Clecos back in, and you don't screw it into holes, because where you've done that, the glass will actually dent like that. The glass will be nice and smooth, then it will dent in to where you've had either the Clico or the screw in too tight or something like that. You want to have a nice smooth finish on the glass all the way around in the front end. And to do that, you just press it down firmly in place and you leave it. That's it. And you let it dry.